Your face. TMG! Coming back for another video. Shop tour video.
A shop tour.
Because we got nothing better to do. Okay, so we ordered Mark's twist throttle and it never showed up. Delayed supposedly, so this is waiting. But we got all three of them in here. Check out these handlebars we just got done putting on Josh's bike. Alright, so we're just basically going to give you a fairly detailed tour here of what all we got going on. This shelving unit here, we just got a bunch of scrap steel, a couple parts engines off some old lawnmowers, and extra welder tractor tires up here. Some lawnmower weed eater parts. Okay, here we got the Central Pneumatic air compressor, hose reel, and some impact sockets there. Starting with the pegboard here, we got commonly used tools. All of our air tools are here: air ratchets, impact guns, grinders. We got a OBD diagnostic computer, different hammers, things you'd grab frequently, funnels, breaker bars, wrench rails. Looking down here, we got fluids and sprays, brake cleaners, carb cleaners, shop rags. Here we got taps and dies, we got spring compressors, ball joint presses, sorted tool kits. This here we got at Harbor Freight. We got a nice inner tie rod end remover. You know what? It was something I was thinking about, was actually doing Harbor Freight tool reviews. So like anything you would see here in this video, if you wanted to see how it works or have a review on it, you know, see if it's worth the buy. We do a lot of Harbor Freight shopping, so we'd be willing to do a video on any one of these tools, even if it's not a Harbor Freight tool, but most of the stuff in here is from Harbor Freight. Okay, we got a nice standard metric set of taps and dies. This is Harbor Freight. They were each 15 bucks a piece. I haven't had a problem with them yet. I have not used these yet. We got a spring compressor set from Harbor Freight. I think this was maybe 25-30 bucks. That we have not used yet. This here I've used a couple times. This is just the basic kit. Your spring compressor with flanges and spacers and all that. So far, no problems. That's that. Over here is our main toolbox for right now. We're looking to get a upright floor model eventually. But we got sockets, extensions, Phillips, flathead screwdrivers, all Harbor Freight, some assorted standard metric wrenches, assorted anything from needle noses, tin snips, channel locks, little pry bars, bigger stuff. Harbor Freight bearing puller. I've used that a dozen and a half times. Works pretty good. This is a nice little Harbor Freight buy, a little spark tester. I think it was like 5 bucks. Works good. So I got a Harbor Freight organizer here. Just different stuff. Anything from electrical tape to springs, spark plugs. Still working on filling that up. Grinders, grease guns, C-clamps, all kinds of grinder stuff up here. Blending wheels, welding stuff up here. Check out this sign we made out of a banner. It's pretty cool. Harbor Freight drill press. I think this was on sale. I got this for like 60 bucks. Good buy. Never had a problem with it either. The Harbor Freight drill press bench vise. Heading on over this way to this shelf here, we got an arc welder and a little MIG welder. Some assorted scrap pipe down here. Tranny fluids, gear oils, transmission fluids, oils, coolants, all kinds of stuff good to keep on hand. Newer purchase right here, Harbor Freight floor jack. It is a 3-ton floor jack with rapid pump. Love it compared to the one that piece of junk we did have. Every garage you gotta have these. These are nut and bolt screw organizers. Love them. They got anything, washers, nuts, bolts. This was a good Harbor Freight buy. I think this was almost 120 when we bought it. 12-ton. They got different sizes of these. They got a little 8-ton, I think, bench model, and then they got 2 floor models, the 12 and I think 24-ton, maybe. This was a good buy. We've used this especially a lot for pressing out universal joints and different things. Little cabinet here with jack stands, Harbor Freight clock. Gotta know what time it is. This cabinet here, these cabinets here just kind of hide everything you don't really want to look at. We got cleaning supplies in here, car cleaning stuff. Paints, basically. This is all spray paints. Some scrap steel for fabricating. What's up with the tilting of the camera? Car ramps, some ladders over here, brooms, squeegees, things like that. This shelf here we just built the other day. Not much on it yet, but I'm sure that ain't gonna be a problem.
Our 86, one that we built. Our
R86.
Our 86.
I think you got a pronoun problem there, dude. I've had videos on this before. We did repaint the engine bay and the engine and everything, but it's kind of on standstill for now thanks to them. Got a cabinet over here to keep used oils, tranny fluids, antifreeze, anything like that that's used in junk. That sign there I actually bought at an antique shop and did the same thing with it. I built a little box behind it and put a light with some aluminum foil in there. This here is my dad's tool box. He keeps his tools in there. This here actually comes in handy for light duty stuff. This is a Hoyer lift for lifting handicapped people, but this was sitting in one of our storage buildings at work and there were some pieces missing off it, so I took it. Got a little table here to work on some small stuff. This here was our newest buy from Harbor Freight. I think this ran about 45 bucks. Manual tire changer. Works good. Haven't actually got to really use it yet because it's not bolted down to the floor. But we did break beads on some tires already with it. Works good there. That's about it, huh?
That's about it.
Alright, heading out back. I got a lot of junk back here I got to get rid of come spring. This big hunk of junk right here is our next project. It's a quad, an old, I don't remember what this was. We're going to put forks on the front end of it and make it into a trike. I'm going to take the motor off of it and set the rear end up so we can, you know, put a 301 or 420cc engine on it with a centrifugal clutch and just run it like the mini bikes. So, and I'm sure this here will be one of the projects someday too. I built this years ago and never finished it. Got a old Sears Craftsman riding tractor sitting 5 feet in the air on Ford Ranger tires. Front end off a quad, rear end off the actual tractor itself. No motor. It had a motor on it and it does run. I drove it around the yard before but never had brakes hooked up on it, and then every time I needed mower pieces, a motor, I always came out here and robbed it, so it don't run no more. What in tarnation? Emily's getting her hair colored. She's texting me about it.
Again?
All right, what do you want? Do you want to run to Harbor Freight or Harbor Freight? Now I got Harbor Freight on the mind. You want to run to Track Supply and get those bearings, and we'll get my bike put back together?
Yeah.
All right.